Let's get ready here. Okay.
Oh, I can't stand behind this?
No, I'm sitting on it.
This House now recognizes the Prime Minister for a constructive speech to last no longer than 7 minutes.
Oh, not ready. Okay. I'd like to thank everybody here today I'd like to thank the judge for taking their time out to judge this debate. I'd like to thank my partner for helping me create this debate, and I'd like to thank my opponents for what's hopefully going to be, and the timer, and my opponents for what's probably hopefully going to be a good debate, and the flowers for doing their amazing flowing. Okay, and today's debate topic, the U.S. federal government should privatize NASA. We define U.S. federal government as the government of the United States, and should defines a policy case, and privatize is to change ownership from government to private, private like control, and private basically saying from large proportion to person or a single person or a group of people owning something. NASA is a national aeronautics. NASA is a national aeronautics and space administration responsible for aviation and space flight. This will be a straight debate, and to judge this debate, we would use the weighing mechanism is net benefits. Our first advantage. First, basically, NASA is funded through taxpayers' money. So if we were to give NASA to a private organization, if that tax money, instead of going to NASA, would go to education, universal health care, that sort of thing. Currently we're in billions of dollars of debt, and NASA is not technically an immediate necessity. We don't really need to find out what's going on in space immediately. Whereas the debt, we probably do have to fix. This money could be, of course, spent on other things. Like I said before, universal health care and education, which education is what we need to understand and create more jobs, create a smarter United States, more intelligent United States, which can then later can put up with the competition of the other countries. For example, China, creating software engineers, like day by day, they're increasing. India, same thing. Whereas the United States is running out of jobs, and those jobs are going to people from India, China, and other developing countries. Universal health care. Majority of the United States does not have health care, which basically this money that is going to NASA could help fund health care for people that don't have insurance.
Are you still in your first advantage?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The impact of this, people can die because they don't have like proper insurance and ways of paying money to get treatment for diseases or like really like cancer. If you don't have the money to pay for your treatment, you're not going to get treatment. Whereas, which universal health care, where this money would come to and benefit, would help. Education. The impact would be, if we didn't have NASA, we would have more education, whereas community colleges right now will not permit high school students into their classes for new learning, more advanced learning. It only goes to people 18 or older, whereas these high school students could be achieving more than what they are right now. Schools are closing down. For example, just this week, Concord, 3 elementary schools in Concord are closed down because the government does not have enough money to fund these schools. And if this money did not go to NASA, we would have money to fund schools for more education. So basically, if the United States does not, the United States should privatize NASA because it would be, the money would be spent for more immediate needs, whereas instead of NASA, where you just investigates or speculate about space. Speculate about space. The second advantage is NASA would then be NASA would then make NASA would then be commercialized, which is basically instead of taking money from government, they would be create their own means of earning money. That money, well, currently, the NASA's funds from the government are going down. Eventually, they're going to be non-existent. Also, the government cannot provide all its attention to NASA as of right now. There are other problems around the world that the government has to focus on. So therefore, NASA is not getting the government's undivided attention. Whereas if NASA was privatized, all the energy, all the focus would be in finding out, discovering space. This would then show, currently, so the progression.
Femzy can't ask any more questions.
I have 1 minute to go. Okay. This is slowing down progression. We are not finding out about the space as much. Our understanding of the universe is not as fast as it would be if the focus was only on NASA. So as a private company, NASA will have more opportunities to explore without the constraints. Would have more opportunities to explore without the constraints of the government and the limits that it has on how much they can explore. Thank you.
That's no longer than 7 minutes.
Okay. So first, I would like to thank everyone here, our government team for starting this debate, our judge for judging our case, our timer recorder person for timing and recording, and our flowers for flowing, and of course my partner for helping me. So the resolution is the U.S. federal government should privatize NASA. So first I will go over our disadvantages. Our first disadvantage is that they will have less funding. So if NASA is privatized, the government won't give as much money as they are giving right now. So right now, the government is taking enough importance in NASA and space research, and is funding all the necessary money that they need. If we privatize NASA, they will not totally fund it. If NASA doesn't have enough funding.
Yes. What do you mean by they're providing substantial amount of money to NASA?
Since it is run by the government provides them with how much ever money they need.
Aren't they providing limitations as well?
Yes, but that is...
Wait, you're only allowed to ask one question, and you gotta ask it now. Raise your hand again.
Yes. Actually, I think I'll take it at the end. So, if NASA's not being funded by the government, if they're not getting this much money, they will not be able to do whatever they need to do. And we will have no research. We will not increase our knowledge on space research. Okay. Our second disadvantage is that we can't trust a private company. If NASA is private, okay. Okay, right now NASA is not private. There is only one NASA for the whole United States. So we basically have NASA. We are the force. But if it is privatized, we cannot trust it wholly. If NASA is privatized, we can't trust the information they give us. They might hide some information, or they might tell us some false information for competition or business purposes. So the U.S. will not have, the U.S. knowledge of space will not advance. Yes?
Who exactly will
do you know who exactly this information would be kept secret from?
No,
Are you
because
saying, I want to clarify, are you saying that information will be kept secret from the United States government or countries around the world?
Okay. Okay, now I will go over what our government team said. So their first advantage was that the taxpayers' money will be used to go to some more important things, such as education. But NASA and its research is adding to our education. We are increasing our knowledge of space every day, and it is being taught to the kids at schools. And so basically, it is education. So even if the taxpayers' money was used for education, NASA's research is being used for education. Their second advantage was that it is commercialized, that they will get their own means of earning money, and they also said that the government was giving less and less money to fund them. And that the government will focus on other problems. But if NASA is privatized and they need their own means of money, the people will not give as much money as the government. U.S. is in recession right now, and it's not like everyone is really well off that they have money to give to NASA to fund them. So right now, I'm pretty sure they are getting more money than what they will get if it is privatized. And they can still explore, but U.S. as a whole is not getting anything because they will keep the information to themselves. It's not U.S.'s information. And for those reasons, you should vote for opposition.
Okay, so real quick.